Thank you all for joining in today. And today is our episode number 3939. And this is free Intune training provided by How to Manage Devices community. Once again, if you have any questions related to device management or this training, any questions related to Intune, SCCM, or configuration manager, please use our forum, that is forum.howtomanagedevices.com, or you can type in htmdforum.com to get into that portal and ask your questions, right? Okay, so let's get into Intune learning for today. So yesterday we have kind of seen baseline policies, right? And we talked about CIS baseline, which is a third-party baseline, and UK government cyber security baseline, right? That is gone more specifically into the mobile device management category, like CSPs and mm, uh, ADMX backed policies, which are deployed using OMA-DM policies, right? OMA-DM is the protocol which we use in Intune to deploy these Windows 10 MDM CSP policies, right? Okay, so we have seen that, and that is the template, probably from my perspective, can be used for small organizations, right? If you don't have much strength of device management admin, or you don't have security admins, or you don't have a specific teams, different teams for security, managing the security policies and checking the security policies, and you just have a one person or a couple of person who is handling everything within the workplace environment, probably that is that is a perfect use case for using this kind of a policy, right? So just create a profile, deploy to all, and yeah, that's it, right? But if you have a specific requirement, you don't want all the policies in place on your Windows 10 devices. Probably you are thinking like, oh, probably that will make my users life bit difficult, right? Because there could be a lot of restrictions if you deploy all those basic templates, right? So so if you don't want to do that, and if you want to specifically deploy some, like for example, you want to deploy policies to Edge or Office, right, specifically, then I think the best bet is to go ahead and create something called administrative templates. So what I did is basically I open up a page, right? This is how to manage devices.com, and I have a blog post over here, right? And it talks about the administrative template policies, right? We will come to this in a minute. Before that, let me go into this one, right? So one of the prerequisites for using administrative templates in Intune is this one, right? You should have 1709 or later version. But Microsoft specifically mentioned that to get the best experience, right, you should have Windows 10 Enterprise version 1903 or above. Okay, right, and in that also build number is also mentioned, right? So to get the best experience, this is the version required for administrative templates, right? And it also mentioned about all the things which I told yesterday, right? Also, like, this is kind of a cloud, kind of a group policy, right? Administrative templates are cloud kind of a group policy, but it is based on mobile device management, MDM, OMA-DM protocol, right? OMA-DM protocol. And so you have seen already, like, in Firefox, when we configure Firefox, when we configure Chrome, we need to look into the CSPs and we need to find out OMADM URL, OMA URI, right? OMA URI, and we need to find all those details. Then we need to struggle to find the exact value for the string, etc. Right? But in this scenario, everything is coming as out of box for you, right? At least Microsoft related applications at the moment, right? Something like Office 365 Pro Plus, and something like Microsoft Edge, Chromium, right? Those kind of policies we can configure as out of box. Probably in future, maybe we will have options to inject ADMX files directly into this kind of a workload. I don't know now is that now it is not possible. I don't know whether that is coming or not, but that would be a good use case, right? So like similar to Active Directory, right? In Active Directory, you can download the Google Chrome ADMX and do the all the things from there, right? So similar kind of thing probably might come in Intune. Also, maybe may not be. I don't know. Probably there are already some user voice items to achieve that, right? Or request that. So probably if you find something, please vote up, uh, use your votes over there to get it done as soon as possible from a development perspective, right? So just to come back to the topic about the policies, right? So when I checked the analyze the policy total number of policies out of box policies available in administrative templates, it was around 3,430, right? 3430, right? That was the total number. And there are device related properties as well as, sorry, configurations as well as user related configuration. So 753 device configurations and more than 2000 user configurations are available as out of box, right? So that means you don't have to search for Windows 10 CSPs, right? And you don't need to make OMA URI as we did last time for other browsers and all, right? For at least at the moment for Microsoft Edge, Chromium browser, etc., right? Because of this policy. Okay. So this is the basic advantage of using administrative templates. So I strongly kind of recommend to use this, right? Where if you configure the security policies in Intune, and if you want to control the applications or configure the policies like policies to Office 365 Pro Plus or Microsoft Edge, Chromium, etc., etc., right? So that was the basic idea about administrative templates. So now let's check how to create an administrative templates, right? Same thing, devices node here, endpoint.microsoft.com, devices node. And in the devices node, I always filter. If I'm creating a policy for Windows, I always filter with Windows platform, and then I will get only Windows related policies, right? So configuration profiles over here and click on create profile. Same thing, Windows 10 later, and I will say like template, administrative template. This is the template which we need to select. Normally, for Firefox we used this one, and for Chrome we used custom template, right? Now for Edge, I'm going to create an policy, configuration policy, or yeah, probably configuration profile for Edge, Microsoft Edge Chromium. Okay, so let's do that. Profile, select administrative templates and click create. I don't remember what was that option, right? Okay, Microsoft Edge, like let's say Edge Chromium. Edge Chromium, if I can spell it correctly, Chromium ADM template, right? ADM policy. Okay, so let's do that. And I already have a list of policies also, like in a blog post. So if I go to, and you can download the Excel also, right? I have uploaded the Excel to GitHub or something. So you can if you want to check what are the policies available in this ADMX, right? Or in this administrative templates. I talked about like around I don't know, I forgot the numbers, 3000 plus policies, right? All these 3000 policies on that date is available in this list, right? So you can search and check if you want, right? If you directly don't have access to Intune at the moment, then probably you can check which are the policies available from our website, right? How to manage devices.com. Okay, so I'm going to use this one, right? Okay, so this is the documentation, Edge Chromium ADM policy, right? Let be very specific, right? Let's say homepage, homepage policy, right? If we want to add some more, we will add in a different policy later, right? Otherwise, we can change that policy name, the profile name later, right? So let's be specific and see when I clicked next, it came up with options over here, right? This is a new template in Intune. We have not seen this similar kind of template before, right? This reminds me some of the group policy kind of configurations, like that kind of a structure, like with the folders and all, right? This is pretty new to Intune, right? I think a couple of months, or like I don't remember exactly when they released it, but it was like they announced it in Ignite, I feel, and they released it recently. Okay, so as you can see over here on the left hand side, there are two types of configurations available, right? One is computer configuration, the other one is user configuration. When I go back here, right, you can see like there are 753 device configuration. So device configuration is basically computer configuration, right? And 2677 user configuration. So okay, let's get back. So this is the user configuration which we are talking about, and this is device configuration. So if if you want to search directly for a policy, then you can search over here. This is very useful, right? If I search office, right, if I can type it correctly, so you can see office related policies over here. Okay, and if you want to browse through and check all the policies, you can browse through these policies and check, like you can say, okay, all settings is the best policy, sorry, best node to check all the policies, right? So the problem or issue with this search, right, the folder level search for this is basically it might not give you back the actual settings details, right? It will give you the folder name, right, results. Okay, if you want to exactly see the settings or policies, then you need to use this all settings over here, right? Then if you type edge, you will see the edge related policies, actually settings, not the nodes folders, right? Policies appearing here, right? That is pretty useful, right? And same thing for applicable for users also, right? If I go to settings, and you can see user level settings available over here related to cookies and all the ads, etc, 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 right? Download restrictions, etc, etc, related to edge, right? So this is pretty useful in many scenarios, right? To specifically deploy the policies to your organizational MDM managed devices, right? So let's kind of configure one policy for Edge, right? So I selected Microsoft Edge over here, right? And before going there, right, let me show you something. Missed it. I don't know where it is now. Okay, I will show you in a minute. Give me a sec. I saw this somewhere. I forgot where it was. Okay, anyways, uh, what I wanted to show is basically there are some depreciated policies also, right? So you don't want to use that, or probably you can just avoid those policies using those policies. So this is kind of automatically updated by Microsoft, right? If you ask me when it gets updated, I don't have the schedule. Probably it will be available in this document somewhere. Probably I have not checked it, right? But it would be available somewhere in the document, but I assume it is updated regularly, right? uh, as you know, like Intune is updated regularly. As you can see in the new updates, new page over here somewhere, like in new updates page, right? In the home page, you can see new updates coming up, right? I have shown that in the first or second episode of this series, right? Okay, so coming back to Edge policies, right? I'm going to go to Edge, and I want to create some policies for startup, homepage, right, etc., etc., right? So basically over here, if you click on this node on the left hand side, you can see there are bunch of configurations automatically available for you, right? You don't need to search for CSPs, etc., etc., right? OMA URIs, and you don't need to build the OMA URI structure and understand. You don't need to understand that if you feel that is complex for you, right? Then, for example, I'm going to configure the home page URL, right? So if I click on that configuration, you can see this is similar to group policy structure, right? So this is similar to group policy, and I have seen most of the wordings also, right, over here are similar in many scenarios. Like if you check some old policies, right, you might see like, this is applicable only for Windows 7 devices. Yeah, but it's not. They have not changed the wordings, but if the policy is available, obviously it is applicable for Windows 10, right? Because ADMX or administrative templates are only available for Windows 10, 1709 and above, right? As I mentioned over here, as it's mentioned somewhere over here, 1709 and above, right? So if you see, like, yeah, see, oh, this is the one I was mentioning, right? Support Microsoft Windows 7 or later, right? That makes sense because Windows 10 comes after Windows 7, right? That's fine. Then it supports Windows 10 also. Okay, but yeah, that's this is very similar kind of template, similar to group policy. That is why I mentioned it as a cloud group policy kind of thing in Intune, right? Okay, so let's configure it. Just click on enable, right, and say maybe I don't know, maybe let's put this as the home page, right? Configure the policy, and let's put how to manage devices .com as the home page for our Windows 10 devices in this tenant, right? So we have configured, and now you can see there are sort options available, right? You can sort this and enable. You can sort it with enable, right? It will come up, and the site settings type, right? That is also very useful, right? And you can see like these are device settings, right? So we have not configured anything related to users now. All these are device settings. So let's click on next. We have configured the homepage URL. Let's click on next, and the other piece of the templates are the administrative templates are same, like scope tag. If you want to add a scope tag, we can add it, right? You can say select default if you want, right? And say next assignment. So one thing is that there is no applicability rules or something which we have seen in other custom CSP policies available here, right? So that is not there in ADMX or administrative template policies now. Probably it might come in the future, right? Okay, but the assignment page is same, and we have include and exclude option. As you remember, we don't have that uninstall option like applications over here, right? Because probably we don't need that, right? The idea should be when you remove the policies, probably it should revert back. I don't know, some of the cases it is doing that, some of the cases it doesn't do that, right? So let's use the same device group, right? Windows devices, all Windows devices. I only have 3 devices in this tenant now, right? So deploy this to all Windows devices, and you can review and see what is happening. Enabled the only one settings you can see over here, right? So this is the only setting enabled which we have enabled in this ADMX policy or administrative templates, right? We don't need to, like, again I'm saying, we don't need to use the CSP. We don't need to find out the CSP for Microsoft Edge, Chromium, etc., etc. in this case, right? This is out of box available. So this is pretty helpful for Intune admins. Okay, let's create, and let's go back to, where is that policy now? Okay, let's check. I lost the connectivity. Come on. Okay. Uh, where is it? Edge Chromium home page policy, right? So let's see the device status over here, and it's all pending, right? So let's go to our device, a Azure AD join device first, right? Today, and see what is happening over there. This is the our favorite event viewer. So this is MDM policy. So we need to look into event viewer. There is no other log files which we can look into, right, at the moment. So this is MDM policy. So it will come up in the event log, right? Let's refresh and see, like, okay, the latest refresh happened on 237, right? So probably you might need to wait, or you can enable this sync it to get the latest policies, right? So probably it will come after some time, or we need to wait. So let's sync for now, and let's go back to the other device, that is Azure AD registered device. This is Azure AD registered device, and here also let's sync, or let's refresh first and see, like, when is the last update happened on this, right? This was on today morning, early morning, to 126, right? So let's try to wait some time. Okay, so let's go back. I don't want to refresh now. So let's see this refresh or sync completed now. Last sync successfully completed. Now let's see. Probably it might not work for the Azure AD registered device also, because why? because the Edge, Microsoft Edge deployment is based on Win32 application deployment, and Win32 application Intune management extension is not available for Azure AD joint devices, as we mentioned in the previous episodes, right? So it might not be applicable for those BYOD devices. Okay, so let's click refresh and see what has happened, right? What has happened? Okay, so let's go and search for something policies. Edge startup. Ooh, okay. Something came up. This is similar to the Chromium, the Chrome policies, Google Chrome policies, and Firefox policies. We can see like a delay. Okay, delay means yeah, probably something is already happened. That's a good news, right? As I mentioned last time. Okay, so homepage location, Microsoft Edge startup, right? And it says, okay, homepage location ID. So this is the interesting fact is, if you look at the value, string value, right? It is using the same value as same structure as we deployed like Firefox and basically Chrome, right? Chrome and this has the same structure because in the background it is using the Chrome engine, right? So that is why it is using the same structure for the string, right? So yeah, that's cool, right? So that policy got deployed. Now let's launch and check what is happening, right? So probably it's not happening. Last time also we have seen this is not happened, and it got happened when we created a new tab policy or something in the Chrome, right? You remember that? Okay, so let's wait and see what is going to happen with this, right? Let's go back to device BYO device, Azure AD registered device, and I think we didn't sync it, right? Let's refresh and see nothing is there. And now let's sync it. Let's sync and see what is going to happen over here. Okay. Okay. I'm opening up for the questions if you have any. So we only have 2-3 minutes now. Any questions? Everything is clear. Are you getting the point, or like you're getting confused, or what is the scenario over here?
This was straightforward. It was clear. It is clear.
Okay. Okay. Sure. Thank you.
It's clear now.
Thank you. So ADMX injection, okay, ADMX injection happened for Microsoft Edge, and even though we don't have Microsoft Edge over here, okay, that's cool, that's a good one, right? So this is Azure AD registered device, and we don't we don't have
By, de-
Edge.
by default, we have Edge. No, Microsoft Edge is there by default.
The legacy one, you mean to say,
Yes.
the not the Chromium one, right?
No. Yeah.
Okay, so probably this, you mean to say this could be a legacy Edge ADMX policy.
I suppose. Yes.
I don't know because yeah, could be possible. That's interesting topic, right? Again, let me go back to here and check what is the policy that we configured. It's doesn't say like it's only, no. I think it specifically mentioned something like,
Chromium. Yeah, it was mentioned for Chromium.
yeah, then it
It was
should,
mentioned over there.
yeah, then it was, yeah, I was thinking like probably I missed it. So if it was mentioned Chromium, then I don't know why it's okay. Anyways, like we'll check that. Anyways, this was surprising for me because before we didn't see this ADMX policy. Let's go back and check what is the status now, right? What is the status it shows in the devices status? Okay, it's succeeded only for the Azure AD join device. Okay, that's cool. Okay, so status is fine, but we will check what is this policy, and we will discuss that tomorrow probably. Okay. Any other questions? Okay, if not, thank you all for joining in today, and hope this was helpful to you. See you tomorrow, same time, same place. Take care. Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Thanks,
Thank
Lou.
you.